I am going to tell you a joke that I know is not funny, especially because of the current situation in our Kenyan politics. But I will tell it all the same. Why? So that I pass a crypted message. So that I pass along a deep message to those of us who are alert, okay, to what is happening in Kenya, and indeed what is happening globally. Okay? But before I do that, please allow me to give you a heads up of what is coming on my supercharged show today. Okay? There is a man called David Olesankok, yeah, a politician, somebody who is very close to President William Samoei Ruto. Now his recent utterances have virtually gone viral. Okay? And I know most of you already know what he said. He said, Raila Amolo Odinga is the longest serving president of Kenya. What do you think? Okay? And of course I'm also asking other questions. You know, when people start pampering somebody, praising him, giving them a lot of heshima, and they were insulting him just the other day, I tend to get very suspicious. Why? Why now? Hapo iko kitu. Okay? That is something you should look forward to on this show coming up. But even more interesting, there are some people who have said, and these are people who should know, that Raila Amolo Odinga has a plan. Okay? He has a plan in this very strange chini ya maji handshake with Ruto. Now many of us do not agree, including yours truly. But there is a very intriguing piece of information that was recently released by an insider that I'm going to thoroughly analyze. Okay? About exactly what Raila is planning to do. Okay? That should be for the good of the Kenyan people. Of course, so many Kenyans are already very angry at Raila. They don't want to hear anything about Raila. But I believe it is my duty as an analyst to bring it to your attention and to analyze it. Okay? That one also is coming up. Right. Let's try this joke. That is not a joke. Two siblings, the children of this long-suffering parent, are always fighting. Okay? And one day, this function comes up, which is up country. It is a kind of family get-together, nyam-choms, etc., etc. And this long-suffering mother gives very clear instructions. Now I know you two have said you'll never talk to each other. I know you can't stand each other. But I want you on your best behavior. Make sure you arrive together. Okay? And this is very important. When you come in for the function, I want you laughing and cracking jokes together. And if possible, holding hands. And by this are grown men. I was not supposed to laugh. Yeah, because this joke is not funny. It's not. Especially for those of you who are following the news. We know that Ruto has left Kenya. But he has not left alone. He has actually gone to a powerful nation called China. Yeah, for the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation Summit. But he has not gone alone. He is accompanied by, wait for this one, Raila Amolo Odinga. That's what's happening. Oh boy. This is their first trip out of the country after the secret chini ya maji handshake that Raila Odinga has very strongly denied. But his allies these days have left no room for guesswork. Okay? You know, Kenyans have developed a habit which emerged after the 2022 presidential elections. I find it difficult to call them elections. It's elections. After that event, Kenyans have developed a very interesting habit. When you give them news that they don't like, they simply don't watch news. If there's a major developing story, a major development in our politics that Kenyans don't like, they switch off their TV. What? Wakenya tuko na feelings. Hey. But on a more serious note, I'm not a psychiatrist. I have not read clinical psychology or anything like that. But I can tell you for free, that is not a good sign. Especially if you're ruling the country, ogopa. That is a very, very bad sign. Na kama ujui, utajua aujui. Anyway, let us talk about these remarks by Bwana Sankok, from the Ma community. And then, of course, after that, as promised, we will spill the beans. What this insider said is Raila's plan. Okay, but before we do that, please allow a brief word from our sponsors. LemFi, formerly Lemonade Finance. Now, this is an app for sending money to your loved ones back home. And you can send money to at least 10 African countries. Kenya, of course, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Rwanda, Senegal, Benin Republic, and Tanzania. And there are a couple of advantages here. 0 transaction fees, one of the best exchange rates on the market. Direct transfer either to a bank account or even to Mpesa. And then, wait for this one, you can also receive money from Kenya. And again, 0 transaction fees. I suggest that you try it out. You may just like it. And if you can use my code, which you can see on your screens right now, KUMEKACHA, not Kumekucha, KUMEKACHA, you'll be able to receive $30 back for your first transaction that is above $100. Try it out and let me know how it goes. Right. Bwana David Ole Sankok says that Raila started being president during the Moi days. Okay, there was a merger between KANU and NDP, which was Raila's party at the time. And indeed at the time Raila abandoned the opposition and joined KANU in this merger, which shocked the nation to its bones. But of course people's hands were tied as to how hard they could hit out at Raila, because of all people, Raila had suffered the most under Moi. Fractured leg, which was never given any medical attention. Indeed, he still suffers because of that leg to this day. You notice the way Raila walks. Na mateso nyingi. And then after all that, Raila shook Moi's hand and they joined together in a political party. Kenyans didn't know what to say. They just kept their mouths open. So according to Bwana Sankok, that's the first time Raila was president. And then during the Kibaki years, after the very unfortunate clashes of 2007-2008, after those elections, there was a disputed presidential election, a grand coalition government was formed, which was really the two major parties, warring parties at the time, ODM and Kibaki's PNU, and they formed a government. And Raila became the prime minister. And Kibaki remained president. And the way it was sold to us initially, is that the two were supposed to be co-presidents. Okay? And then the next time Raila was president was with the handshake with Uhuru. And then now the latest, the mysterious, funny, strange, chini ya maji handshake with Ruto. And so according to Bwana Sankok, Raila is the longest serving president. Kweli? Well, somebody might want to say that he has been powerful within government for the longest time, longer than any other Kenyan. But in my opinion, even that is debatable. I mean, let's be serious. This merger with Moi, although Raila became the Secretary General of the new KANU, the party that emerged after the merger between Raila's NDP and Moi's KANU, although he was the Secretary General, Raila was not powerful. Moi was still in firm control of the country. Raila had no power. And then this grand coalition government was the most annoying. Raila was not even a senior prefect. Yeah, because a senior prefect in a school, you will agree with me, there is no way the headmaster or the teachers can shame them in public in front of the other students. But that is what was done to Raila. Kibaki publicly overruled some decisions made by Raila. Raila complained all the time. Okay, granted, that was a period in our history where we're told by economists the government got the most done. That is true. However, as far as Raila having power, there was nothing like that. With Uhuru, Raila was not even in government. Okay, he was an influential advisor. But when you advise the president, do you really have power? Because the president can choose to take your advice or to ignore it. So you tell me, how do you have power in such a situation? There's nothing like that. And of course, Ruto, we're waiting to see. Therefore, what Bwana Sankok said that has excited many Kenyans is really, he said nothing. It's not true. It's not accurate, according to me. Well, you're welcome to have a different opinion, and you're very welcome to leave your comments telling me, Chris Kumekucha, you don't know what you're talking about. I welcome those because I'm a student of life, and I'm always ready to learn new things. Otherwise, that's my take. Now, we have an insider who knows Raila Odinga very well. And this insider also knows Ruto even better. Okay? And of course he also knows retired President Uhuru Kenyatta very well. Okay? And therefore, when this man talks politics, or when this man talks about these individuals, I pay attention. Well, I have to apologize, because in the recent utterances of this man, I captured many things, but I missed this particular thing he dropped very casually. But my friends, it was potent. Okay? I guess it's better late than ever. This is what he said, and he said it so casually. And to me, that adds even more weight. You know, when you want to give people information, but you don't want to give it to them directly. You want to give them that information indirectly. This is what he said. He said, in answer to a question about why Raila has joined Ruto, he said, has he? Yes, I know Raila very well. Has he really joined Ruto? Or maybe has he joined in such a way that he can quickly jump out at any time? And in the near future, we will see him jump out at the last minute when the ship is sinking. Because this Ruto ship is sinking. That's what the man said. I'm paraphrasing. Now, let us try and remove our emotions of how we feel betrayed. And let's analyze this only with our brains. Let's leave our feelings out of it. Is Raila capable of a move like this one? The answer to that question is yes. He has done it before. The NDP KANU merger, Raila jumped out when the KANU ship was sinking. Yeah. So yes, now please hear me out, because I'm not going to finish in the way you're expecting me to finish. Okay? Now, there's even further evidence. We know that Raila Odinga in his long political career has been able to see things long before they happen. And therefore what Raila does, by the way, this is his biggest strength in politics. He has been able to see things well ahead of time. And then all he has done is to position himself with the people, what the people are feeling, and what they're going to feel when that thing which has not yet happened, happens. Raila has done that all the time. The latest example is Finance Bill 2023. Let me remind you in case you forgot. Raila was so quiet, Kenyans got worried. But when Finance Bill 2023 ilitokelezea, and we heard that there's a finance bill which is going to be passed, that's when Raila came into the mix. And indeed what was predicted by Raila came to pass. He said these punitive taxes are going to ground the economy. And that's exactly what happened. However, let's stay on point. So, it is quite likely that there could be such a strategy. Okay? However, this time round, there is a big problem for Raila. You see, the way things have changed in Kenya, the way Kenyans are angry, yes, they have forgiven Raila many times before. In my opinion, even if it is true, and even if it happens, that Raila jumps ship at the very last minute before Ruto sinks, it'll still be of no consequence politically. In my opinion, it will not bring back Raila Odinga's reputation, legacy, image. It will not bring back Raila Odinga's power. That is my opinion. It won't. So it doesn't matter, according to me. You see, that train has already left. So whatever Raila does from here henceforth, I don't think it will be enough to resurrect his political career and return him to the old Raila that we have always known. I don't think so. And so, it doesn't matter. But while we're still there on Raila Manenos, very much on topic, there is some information that is very useful in understanding Raila's mindset and indeed in understanding what has happened. Yeah, because Kenyans are still in shock. They can't believe this is Raila. But the truth is, something happened. Okay? Something happened. And you can get this information. There is a Raila Odinga story that has never been told. It is a story of Raila Odinga behind the scenes. Raila Odinga trying to survive. Raila Odinga trying to outsmart some people who can never be outsmarted. Okay? It is a super fascinating story. And I'm afraid it is highly sensitive. And it is all in my latest special report. Yeah. Raila and the biggest decoy in Kenyan political history. It is very fascinating, this story. And one of the reasons it rings true, yeah, in case you don't trust me, and the research I usually do, and the exposés under my belt over the years, to be exact 20 years, 2 decades, when we reach the month of May next year. One of the major reasons why this Raila story rings true, even if you're not familiar with the Kumekucha brand, is that it neatly explains a lot of very strange, bizarre things that have been happening in our country since last year. And not only that, it gives you a clear view of what to expect very shortly. I'm afraid not good things. But fortunately, very, very fortunately, every dark cloud also has a silver lining. Okay? It is all there in my special report. Now you can see details on your screens right now. For only Kenya shillings 2,999 or $24 only, you can have this information that will make things so clear to you that there will no longer be any confusion when you're analyzing Kenyan politics. And neither will there be any confusion when you're trying to predict what is going to unfold shortly. Now, I need only 20 people. This is not the kind of information, unfortunately, that can be distributed widely, for obvious reasons. And I'm almost at that number. So please rush, take full advantage of this offer right now, and make sure you squeeze yourself into that group that ends up with this super sensitive info. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.